Hey everyone, it's Kamina. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm gonna just walk you through my journey through school till now, starting from high school until the present day, and how I went from studying a degree in biology to being a real estate agent. So let's just get into the story. So it started in high school. I was very athletic, but I always got injured. I was pretty clumsy and not very coordinated. I don't know what that was. I was in track, I was in gymnastics and soccer. And so I just got injured a lot. And my mom suggested I go into a program or a major, get a degree in something where I could fix myself or at least diagnose what the problem is. So at the time I was in athletic medicine, and we had a great program in our school. I actually really loved it. We could be trainers at the sports, games, and then just study anatomy. And that's kind of where my interest in science and anatomy and biology and all of that came in, was between my biology courses, environmental science courses, and did I ever say biology, athletic medicine? So basically all my science related classes are what piqued my interest and what made me major in biology. In high school, I had Mr. Franklin and Miss Foley. I feel like I'm gonna mess up names if I keep naming off teachers, but they were great. I learned a lot through them, and I realized I wanted to study that. So when I got to school, I went to school in Salem, Oregon at Willamette University, and I only was there for about a year. I should have listened to my gut when I went there, because I had visited the campus, and you just get that gut feeling like I shouldn't be here. Well, I didn't listen to it, and I went anyway, and I got sick my freshman year, but that's a completely different story. So I ended up taking biology and chemistry classes. I was kind of in the middle of trying to figure out if I wanted to be studying exclusively athletic medicine, become an athletic trainer, or if I just wanted a general degree in biology so that I could later figure out what I wanted to do in the medical field. Well, I took that time and was able to figure out by the time I got through to my next school. So I took some time, well, I didn't take some time off. I transferred schools because I got sick my freshman year. Transferred schools, went back home, went to community college for a time being. I did sports there, and that's where I was able to try to get a better idea of what I wanted to study, why I wanted to study it, and then go on to the University of Washington, which I honestly should have just started there first. They had accepted me right out of high school, so I should have just went there first. I went to Willamette because I had a scholarship and wanted to try something new. I wanted to be independent and move out of state. And should have just listened to myself, honestly. So when I got to the University of Washington, after taking that time in between to take more biology classes in environmental science and anatomy at the community college, I was able to transfer that information over to the University of Washington, where I was then able to focus in on my degree. And I decided, instead of majoring in like biochem or a degree like that, I just decided to do general biology. So with general biology, I had the idea that I could then take that knowledge, that information that I'm learning from these classes and that major, and tie it into pre-medicine. So the biology department and medical building was kind of, actually, I think it was all tied in. Yeah, it was all tied into the Seattle hospital there, the University of Washington Medical Center. So literally my classes were all linked to that, and I could just go from my classes to the medical center. It was pretty nice. But that's where I learned immunology and more anatomy, like female biology, microbiology, all of that. I didn't really have anatomy classes though. They actually, my advisors recommended I go to Bellevue College to take anatomy, which was pretty upsetting to me. But, so I just kind of studied it by myself. I bought a whole bunch of anatomy books and studied that. But the thing about what I learned while I was studying biology at the University of Washington is it was just so detrimental to my health. My mental health was just suffering. I was a really good student in high school and the start of college. I was always in honor roll and on the dean's list. And then as my mental health and my energy just started to get drained at the end of like my junior, senior year, I realized that that wasn't what I wanted to do for the rest of my life. I wanted to help people, and that was still my goal. I like most people, I wanted to help change the world, but I'm only one person. And so although I always shoot high, my goals are always high, like I want to shoot for the stars, I have to be realistic at the same time. So I might have high expectations for myself, but if I hit like right underneath that, that's golden. Like I, for the most part, do always hit my mark though, so I'm very determined once I set my mind to things. And so I decided I'll just get my degree and figure it out after. Well, during my time at UW, I met my boyfriend, my current boyfriend, and he's a general contractor and real estate investor. My best friend since elementary was also real estate agent, so was her mom. So, and my best friend, she had asked me, why don't I get into real estate? At that time, I think I was a sophomore in college, or maybe even a freshman. But it wasn't a good time. I still had a huge course load, and it just wouldn't work out with my schedule and working and sports. So it was just too much. So I didn't really think too much into it. I did do some research about real estate, but I saw that I needed money, and I was already struggling as a poor college student. So I then took my courses, figured out what anxiety and mental health felt like, lost a lot of weight, gained some really bad habits, and became a really bad procrastinator. But I met some great friends at school, and then I realized I can't do pre-medicine, I can't do medical. I could not do another 4 to 8 years studying to be a doctor. And I wanted to be a plastic surgeon or a surgeon in general, whether I specialized or just were like a general surgeon, because that was what I found interesting. I really wanted to be able to fix people if they came in from emergencies and needed help that way. So that's what I was aiming for. Plastic surgery, whether it was like BBL type of plastic surgery or like fixing somebody's face, burn scars, something like that, transplants. So I just wanted to have that knowledge, and I'm still thinking I might at least learn some more, maybe get my master's degree. But right now, I just decided to get into real estate. I graduated and then moved in with my boyfriend, and we got into real estate investing together. I learned more about real estate. I took some more courses. I became a real estate agent and licensed in Coeur d'Alene, Idaho first. And then I transferred my real estate license over to Washington, which is where I'm at now. And I started in Idaho. We were actually in Moscow, Idaho, and it's a smaller place, but it just wasn't working out for what I wanted. And I'm somebody that doesn't like being held back. Even if I am the one holding myself back, I eventually want to break free or get the courage to get out of that cycle, that mindset. So I left Moscow. I left my boyfriend to fend for himself. We were still together, but I left him in Idaho and moved back home to Washington, where I started my real estate career here, and it has been flourishing ever since. So I guess it was just kind of a chain of events. I just was sick and tired of being sick and tired. So I got into real estate, and now, I mean, I'm working, and I'm always working, but I'm always feeling better, and I'm still helping families, still helping people, and meeting new people, creating new connections, and I'm able to share my knowledge. And I'm not only just like a real estate agent. What people don't realize about real estate is, sure, it's a business, we get paid for it, but I'm also an educator, I'm a problem solver, I'm a friend. There's so many aspects of real estate that show up. You really have to become a problem solver and help people. And if you can't, I mean, you can't help everyone. Not everyone wants to be helped. So it is what it is. But that's kind of how I got into real estate. That is how I got into real estate. I wanted to be able to do something, make money now, and not be suffering for the next 4 to 8 years, and finally get into a spot where I'm comfortable in making money. because I hear a lot of interviews and talk to a lot of doctors and people in the medical field, and they're just tired. I appreciate all the work medical field people do. Nurses, doctors, anesthesiologists, I appreciate everything you do. And I do not take you for granted, because the amount of work and time and health you put in is just astronomical. So thank you. It's just not for me right now at this time. If you have any other questions about my journey, want some clarification, let me know. Leave your questions down in the comments and I'll be sure to answer them as best as I can. But yeah, that's kind of it. I try to go from point A to point B, just explain it. I hope that was pretty straightforward. If not, let me know. I'll see you in the next video, everyone. Thanks for listening. Bye.